All right. You were a U.S. attorney, correct?
Special Assistant U.S. Attorney. I wasn't the U.S. Attorney, but yes, I was in the U.S. Attorney's office in San Diego and have seen a little bit of the inside of this stuff myself.
All right. What do you make of today's ruling and how the left had weaponized just a very few handful of district courts?
Well, weaponized is absolutely correct. I mean, if you go back to 2017, one of President Trump's first executive orders was a travel ban. You may remember that. He signed that in January. By February, there was this district judge in Washington, James Robart, who signed an order deeming it unconstitutional. That was followed up by Derek Watson in Hawaii. That case went to the Ninth Circuit. They upheld the liberal judges. Finally, in June of 2018, 1 year and 4 months later, the Supreme Court reversed the district court and the Court of Appeals and reinstated the travel ban. But Grant, in that 1 year and 4 months, you have all kinds of people coming in from these Sharia countries, which the president had a right under the Immigration Act to ban anyway. So that's an example of how ridiculous this is. The court in this case looked at the Judiciary Act of 1787, the very first Judiciary Act, where Congress created these district courts, and concluded that it does not give the power for nationwide injunctions, period. But I'll go farther than that. If you go back and look at Federalist 78, it was written by Alexander Hamilton. You know, when they were trying to persuade the states to adopt the Constitution, one of the greatest fears was out-of-control judges. And in Federalist 78, they tried to persuade the states to adopt the Constitution and ratify it. Alexander Hamilton made 3 points. Number one, he said the judiciary is by far to be the weakest branch of government. So the notion of co-equal branches of government is a constitutional fiction. But here's what he also said, number two, that these judges have no power. Now get this, Alexander Hamilton, to persuade the states to ratify the Constitution, says judges have no power to issue any orders against either the executive or against the legislature. And went on to say that the greatest fear will be judges who step into the role not only of judge, but of as president and as members of the Congress. And these judges have basically turned that on its head. There is zero statutory authority at all for nationwide injunctions, none. And I would argue that the Constitution prohibits it as well. The Supreme Court has taken a great step today to put an end to this, but I would say Congress needs to go farther. We need what I call a Judicial Separation of Powers Act to clip the wings of these out-of-control judges and totally take away their ability to do anything in the area of immigration and naturalization or the United States military. Because to try to interfere in immigration and naturalization by a federal judge, that is a bastardization of the great constitutional notion of separation of powers. Congress must put an end to it, but today is a day for celebration.